I must take my leave of this city. I am sure the Tremere hold Aneska in their Vienna Chantry. I can no longer continue here while she remains in danger.
Ardan was a consummate deceiver. The Tremere have gathered fearsome power in Vienna, and we are not ready for bloody battle with the usurpers. They invited thee to play a sinister game. They know that one day we will have to attack their Vienna Chantry, and so they desire to force our hand before we are ready. I shall not be tricked. Only after we have gathered the other clans in alliance may we contemplate a strike against them. We will not venture into so palpable a trap.
But Aneska will die.
Many have died in the Elder Wars, and many more will die ere Gehenna comes. But fewer will die if we bide our time and heed not the trickery of the Tremere.
But I cannot simply abandon Aneska to those fiends.
Thou canst and thou must. Thy claim upon her is born in weak-kneed, mortal sentiment. Release such frailties, and spare thyself further wretchedness. We cut our ties to mortals when first we received the blessing of Allfather Cain. Thou hast been reborn in blood, cleansed of mortal claims. Thou art exalted. Thou art immortal. Thou art finally free!
I thought we Prometheans respect the mortals.
For a bumpkin of a holy warrior, thou dost reason like a Greek sage. Aye, we respect mortal men, but we do not seek kinship with the current breed. For lo these many generations, mortals have been cowed by the cleverness of the Incarnu, their faculties o'erthrown by scheming mages, and their wisdom tainted by demons. The little nobility left in them is tainted by corrupt rulers and priests. The mortals of Carthage were worthy companions. Their base progeny are not worth the spilling of the blood of immortals.
Aneska is as noble a woman as any in Carthage. We must rescue her.
Brazen brat! Thou hast earned no such right! Even faithful Wilhelm would quake in fear before making such a selfish request.
Perhaps, but I make it all the same.
Mayhap in a generation or two, thou shalt be deemed worthy of making such a request.
In a generation or two, she will die an old woman, even if she survives the Zamitsi.
Then let her die! She chose her path, not thee! She chose to enter the world of vampires. Thou canst not save the foolhardy from their own reckless ways. Remember, like Cain, we are not our brother's keepers.
I dragged her down in this vile pit, and I will draw her back again.
I forbid it! Tread lightly, lest thou arouse my anger and provoke my powers upon thee.
Do as thou must, but I must rescue her. I know not the fate of my soul, only the state of my heart.
Very well. I see thy heart is fixed upon this course, and thou wilt not be denied. Go if thou wilt. Shouldst thou survive the Tremere trap, remember well this freedom I have bestowed upon thee. But I shall not attend this fool's errand. Only a Malkavian would follow thee.
Then call me a moon-mad child of Malkav, for I shall go.
Willem, thou art true a friend as any in God's kingdom.
A true fool. Mayhap I shall yet see this god of whom thou art overmuch fond.
Or mayhap we shall tear the foul halls of the Tremere down around their scabrous ears, and bring the black heart of their sire to a Katerina to wear as a charm.
Wilhelm, thou art mad! 2 Cainites cannot survive the house to Hexy.
Not 2, 3 shall go. Though I have no wish to see the inside of another Tremere Chantry, I shall discharge my life boon by accompanying the brave Bruja who pried open the jaws of the Tremere trap and released poor Eric.
Where Christoph goes, Serena goes. Mayhap 4 shall prevail where 1 cannot.
Mayhap I shall have to replace 4 Prometheans.
Come, we leave for Vienna.
This means traveling through the Bohemian forest. It is beset with werewolves, mortal enemies of our kind. Few Cainites survive the road.
There will be no trouble with the moon beasts while I am here. My clan has made peace with these creatures. We will have safe passage through the forest.
Very well. Let us leave by the east gate.
We are welcome in the weapon shop of Friedrich von Zwetter. There are no finer weapons in all Vienna than are herein.
We seek mended armor.
Thou hast an impoverished look, and the demeanor of outlanders. Hast thou coin to pay?
If such uncharitable suspicion is the custom of the land, I am glad to be an outlander.
We are merely weary and dusty from the road. We can pay our way.
We can pay in gold or in blood. The choice is thine, von Sweeter.
Yes. How may I be of service? Very well. Greetings. Very well.
are magically sealed. We must find a way to enter through the barrier. Another Tremere.
Nay, he is mortal. I can smell it.
Aye, not Tremere, but a mortal mage of the order that splintered into the Tremere. He may be useful.
Hail to thee, mage. I am Christoph of Clan Bruja.
Hail to thee! I am Orvis, mage of the Hermetic Order. Godspeed thee.
Speak up, stranger. Dost thou crave wine, ale, or spirits?
We are looking for a Ventru named Orsi. Canst thou tell us where we may find him?
Come to his mansion in the Western Ringstrasse. Tonight there's a feast in honor of the new solstice. Here's an invitation on the finest virgin skin parchment.
I like not this talk of the skin of virgins.
To my many, many, many dear friends, I would be honored beyond all telling should thou see fit to grace my exquisite mansion in the Western Ringstrasse with the most splendid presents. We shall celebrate the upcoming solstice and the splendor of trade and foreign lands that have so enriched Vienna. Come, sample the finest drink in the land. I have the reddest of reds, and the sweetest of nectars for thy refined palates. Orsi, the Magnificent.
This must be the house of Count Orsi, the slave master.
All the fops, bootlicks, and toadies in Vienna are here assembled.
Welcome, Canaanites. I see thou hast met my children. This is Kazi, Teta, and Zil, the most beautiful daughters of Cain thou shalt ever meet. Unfortunately, Teta and Zil lost the ability to speak during their mortal lives. I found them in servitude to a rather harsh master that saw to it to remove their tongues. He was dealt with in a fitting fashion, eh, say my darlings? Don't worry. Kazi is happy to speak for the three of them now.
We come seeking Bruzja, taken as slaves from Prague, a mortal woman among them.
Slaves? Oh, yes. The slave business have been so very delicious. Duke Leopold needed a force to beat back the Semice, and lo, the Tremere appeared as if by divine providence. The Tremere and Semice battle each other with surpassing fury, and I, humble ventru that I am, I profit from the selling of slaves to both clans. The Duke and I shall ensure that the Tremere win the war, but only after I have collected much treasure from the carnage. Then shall we destroy the wounded Tremere as punishment for the blasphemy they committed upon the antediluvian salute.
Tell us of the October shipment from Prague.
Dost thou think me a fool, that I will give away that which thou wilt purchase? Presumptuous bumpkin! Shouldst thou wish to know of thy allies, thou shalt perform a mission for me.
Or we shall slice thy head halfway off thy neck. Then shalt thou beg to tell of our allies.
The Duke himself protecteth my haven. Attack me, and thou shalt suffer the most grievous retribution, and thou shalt never find thy wayward slaves. Now, enough of such talk. It is business that we have to discuss, no more. Come to my study, where we may discuss this further. Mayhap thou shalt find some delicious morsels to refresh thee. Pray, sup with me. I trust that thou wilt find these hors d'oeuvres to thy liking. If they are not pleasing to the taste, we shall have them flogged.
State thy business, Orsi.
Well, I can see thou hast no courtly manners in thee, bumpkin. Listen well. The Tremere have clapped their slaves away in the Tremere Chantry, die Haus der Hexe, the most protected haven in Vienna. So, do not think to try to kill me to gain them. They are quite beyond my power. Only Duke Leopold could convince the Tremere to give up their slaves. The Duke is responsible for allowing the Tremere to lodge in Vienna, so the Tremere do his bidding. Assist my ally, the Duke, and he will owe thee a boon.
What does the Duke wish?
The end to the reign of the pestilential vampire priest Luther Black. Years ago, Luther was but a mortal priest of Stephansdom Church. A wayward La Sombra sought to rule Vienna by controlling the church, and dared to embrace Luther. We sent the sire to hell. But Luther locked himself away from the outside world. he hath retained a pitiable hold on the faith he had in life, and sleeps by day upon a cross of pure silver. Quite uncomfortable, I assume, but he fancies himself a martyr. The Duke has been unable to remove this blasphemous member of the Shadow Clan, since Luther is ensconced within a ring of holy ground.
Then how do we find him?
Better to ask how to bind him. Thou cannot destroy him. The priest has strange powers beyond thy ken, but thou can restrain him. Here are chains even Luther Black cannot break. I am a master of metalwork, and I have forged these shackles from a new, unbreakable alloy. Thou mayst find them useful, and more reliable than the magics in thy blood. Destroy Luther Black, and the Duke will retrieve thy slaves. Not to my liking, I'm afraid. I prefer blood of a nobler sort. 'Tis my only vice.
Enough of this dainty preening and strutting. How do we reach the La Sombra?
Refinement is wasted on lumbering brutes such as thee. There will come a time when boorish churls are put in their place. Thou shalt find a concealed entrance to the church. Behind our famous astrological clock in the inner strat is a hidden passage. Enter by night and wait inside for daylight, and thou mayst steal into the inner haven undetected.
We shall undertake thy mission.
Good. Now get thee hence.
Away with thee! Return with news of the La Sombra's death.
So, Christophe has not yet perished at the hands of the vampire priest. The deadly nature of thy mission inflames my sister Teta, and my sister Zil entreats me tell thee that she too is filled with lust for thee. She cannot resist the charms of an immortal so close to death's door.